All right, so into our polished overlays, our finished floors. All right, prep the concrete. Need a concrete surface profile of 3, right? Shot blasting, grinding, scarifying. Somehow to get that concrete surface profile to 3. We're going to use an epoxy primer underneath all of these toppings. All these toppings are interior only, right? One of 2 epoxy primers. The first one is EP2000. EP2000 with sand. Sand size, sieve size, 30 to 40, right? Clean, dry sand. I don't know the type of sand you folks have here. In California, I can go to the big box stores and get sand. Do they sell sand here?
Yeah.
So they sell sand here. You stock sand here. They have sand here. That's the sand to use. Clean, dry sand. The most important thing to remember is no shiny spots. Right? So you're going to roll this down. EP2000, you're going to get about 190 feet out of it. Right? Every so often, you're going to have a pit or a hole or something that you're going to have a little bit more epoxy into it. Right? So you broadcast sand into it. You see the sand. But then I'm going to ask you every once in a while, just take a look back behind you. Again, the most important thing is no shiny spots. Because if you have a shiny spot, that means that sand fell through. Now you have epoxy on the top, right? And things won't stick to that, just that plain epoxy, right? EP2000 with sand, 190 square feet out of a unit, takes 16 hours to dry, right? You need it to be a little bit faster. We use our MC Rapid or moisture system as a speed primer. Speed primer, 10 mils with sand. Then you're installing over top of it in 4 hours. So depending on the size of the job, if you're doing just one room, you can get it primed and poured in 1 day. You're going to do a room like this, it's going to take you a good time to put down the epoxy. Use the less expensive one. Right? Use the less expensive one because you're going to be there all day putting down epoxy. You're coming back tomorrow anyway. Right. Yes?
Is that 10 mils for moisture mitigation too?
No, I'm getting to that. That's just as a speed primer, right? So you take the initiative because of the sealer that you're going to be using to determine how much moisture you can go over top of. You find out that the concrete has more moisture in it than the sealer will permit you to be installed over top of. Now we're putting it down, the MC Rapid, at 14 mils with the sand broadcast. Why the difference? Ardex is concerned at 10 mils with the sand broadcast, it can create capillaries where moisture can pass through. At 14 mils, we know that's not going to happen. Okay? At 14 mils, we know that's not going to happen. Right? Either case, for the MC Rapid, 4 hours to install over top of it. You don't want to take the chance. You don't want to test for moisture. Right? You're not sure what the sealer recommends. 14 mils of sand, you're safe. Right? For the MC Rapid, if any of you are factory trained by Ardex, you get an extended warranty. If you are not factory trained by us for MC Rapid, you get a 6-month warranty. Those training classes are held at all of our training facilities also. And going to one of our finished surfaces, we do that the first day. So you also get that added bonus of an extended warranty with the MC.
Or by coming to the class?
By coming to the class. Yep. Because right now, you walk in off the street and buy it, you get 6-month warranty. That's it. Okay? So, both epoxies. Most important thing, no shiny spots. So many times guys want to roll the dice and gamble and think, I got just enough sand. Right? Problems happen. Right? So depending on which product, right? 16 hours with EP2000, 4 hours with the MC Rapid. Right, now we're ready to pour over top of it. Products we have. Pour and seal. We have K520 and 530. Difference between the two. One's gray, one's white. They can be used as a binder system. We have the 530 here. We added that blue rock to it. Right? Make it look like terrazzo. Make it look like terrazzo. All right. You're going to just pour and seal. 520 and 530 can be poured at 1/4 of an inch. Minimum. Right? 1/4 inch minimum. I'm going to keep saying minimum because depending on how bad the floor, the concrete may be, you might need to pour it a little bit thicker. The floor has a lot of waves in it. 1/4 of an inch is going to take up those waves. Is your customer okay with those waves? It's entirely up to you and your customer. Not you, your customer. Right? So you might need to pour it thicker. I had a contractor in California. Oh my gosh. Go to the job site because they were having issues. He goes, what's the problem? I go, they didn't prime here. Yeah, I watched them prime. I go, they primed the first coat, but they put another one over top of it and they didn't prime. I can see that. Then the general contractor came up to me and goes, so what's wrong with your product? I said, what do you mean? He goes, it's not level. I just smiled at him. I go, we can get level, but you might need to pour more material. He goes, so your product lies to us. I go, no. We got stuck with the name self-leveling, right? It doesn't self anything. It doesn't level unless you want to make it level. And we can get level, by all means, but you're going to pour more material.
Right. More money.
More, right? So we get the second area done that I'm there to observe and watch and take care of and look better. One, because I made sure they measured the water, right? And it went better. This job was done in the evening. I said I don't answer my phone at night. I don't like being woken up. About 12 o'clock, they're calling me. Something's wrong with your product. When you're kidding me? I wasn't very happy because, again, I got woken up. So there were some other things that were said. Not very nice. And so I go to, and it was a military base where the Blue Angels actually train. And so we go there and I'm outside the gate. He goes, you just want to come back tomorrow? I go, oh no, I'm here.
Right. You woke me up too.
Send somebody out here to get me. Walked in, he goes, look, and he got a straight edge on. He goes, look, it's not level. I go, because you might need to pour more material. He goes, well, how do we fix that? I go, patch it. He goes, so your solution is more material? Yeah. He goes, why didn't you say that? And I go, I don't know how many more times I could have said it. Right? So again, evaluate the floor. Right? Saying minimum. So 520, 530, pour and seal, minimum 1/4 of an inch. All right, we get into the polished ones, 520 and 530. They can be polished also, yes. 3/8 of an inch minimum. Most contractors I find will pour a 1/2 inch, just because one of the worst things you can do, polishing an overlay, cut through it. Right? So how do you fix that? I'm going to ask, is there some way that that area can be separated from everything else? What does that mean? That means if this is my room, can I saw cut this because this is damaged or cut through? Can I saw cut this to make it look like there's supposed to be a seam there or a joint there? Right? Some cases you can. Some cases you're not going to be able to. Right? So saw cut here. Okay, to make it more uniform, let's cut one here too. Right? This is nothing but to make that look like it's supposed to be there also. Okay? We're going to ask that. Then there's going to be other cases you're going to go, no, there isn't. And then you're going to have to redo the whole floor. Right? Evaluate the concrete before you even start. Evaluate those floors. Tell you how bad or how wavy the floor is. We don't get paid for any of these, but one of the tools out there, which does a fantastic job, is Smart Level. Right? It's a water level. You can set, there's no line of sight, there's no calculations. It'll put the numbers right onto a blueprint for you. Right? You just go around with the stick and the device and just go around and measure the floor. It'll tell you how bad the floor is.
What's it called?
Smart Level. Smartlevel.us is their website. Right? And it's not very expensive. Most contractors I talk to about this, they figure that into their next job. But again, it puts it into a blueprint, into a drawing, that you can show somebody, this is how bad your floor is. This is why I need this much material. Right? Had a contractor in there as they were presenting that to us the first time, and he goes, Tim, a job that would have taken us 3 to 4 days to evaluate how much material we would need, took us about 3 hours. We're just walking around, setting it down, and it's recording everything. Right? It recognizes the high spot and adjusts all the other numbers. It's pretty cool. It really is. All right, so back to the Ardex products. 520, 530, polished. Right? Minimum 3/8 of an inch.
520, 530.
Yep.
Minimum 380.
Of polishing. The other products, 521, 523, 525. They have aggregate in them. They look more like concrete. So this is how the process started, right? So polished concrete. Somebody's prepping a floor, leaves a grinder on the floor a little bit, shines up the concrete, goes, wow, this is pretty cool. Let's do the rest of the floor like this. So they polish the concrete. And then somebody decides, hey, let's try that overlay over there. Let's polish that up. They were not meant to be polished. So then the machine and tooling manufacturers had to come up with a way to process these materials. Right? Some of them, again, were not meant to be polished. But they figured out a way. So as a manufacturer of powders and cements, we had to come up with a product that was easier to process and polish. So we had one of the machine manufacturers back at our corporate office processing material, and we asked them, can you tell us the difference between us and our competition? Do you mind? They go, no, we don't mind, but we have to put PCT, or original polished overlay, in with your competition. I said, okay. Okay. He goes, if we pour your competition or PCT, they get so hard, so fast, we never know if we're going to get them polished. With our K500 products that we have now, the ones I just mentioned, K520, K530, 521, 523, 525. They polish 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, doesn't matter. They polish like concrete. And that's what we're hearing from contractors. It polishes like concrete. I have some color manufacturers, some sealer manufacturers, they go, Tim, I've had product for 3 months, and I was still able to polish it. So what we're hearing from contractors is that, and that's a game changer. Because in years past, with our competition in PCT, they would just pour what they knew they can get onto the next day. Now, we're pouring it, come back next week.
Next month.
Not a problem. Not a problem. All right. You can add color to all of them. Now, the 525 is our newest one. It is our most user-friendly product on the market. It really is. Aggregate stays to the top. Looks a lot like concrete. A lot like concrete. All right. So anyone's getting into this, I'm strongly pushing them towards the 525. Just do this one.
Is there specific color that you say we should use if we wanted to?
Anything you can color concrete with. There's small regional ones. I'm not going to neglect anybody. Find out what they have, whoever you're buying the stuff from, find what's readily available to you. But anything you can color concrete with. You know, just as the sealers, we don't recommend a sealer. The sealers we recommend are a sealer that's meant for the use of the area and whatever's readily available and you're comfortable putting down. Right? Those are some of the criteria that we ask you to evaluate. Right? What's most critical is meant for the use of the area. Right? A residence is going to be much different than a brewery compared to a restaurant, to someone's garage. Right? Contact whatever sealer manufacturer is readily available to you. This is what I'm doing. What should I use? Our salespeople contact that. Hey, what sealers should I use? Contact the sealer manufacturer. That's not my world. I'm in the cement world.
You got that right behind us here too. So.
Densifying, it all depends on the sealer manufacturer. We don't recommend. I can't say we don't recommend.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary. For our product, it doesn't do anything to it except make it less porous. And so those are some of the conversations we have with the sealer manufacturers. I need you to understand how porous this material is. If you need to use a primer or not, or if you need to densify or not, that's entirely up to you.
Guard. What about guard?
Guard, we strongly suggest something that's going to be on the surface to protect it.
Okay.
But again, whatever's meant for the use of the area.
So we don't need anything for polishing, just.
You need to protect it. You need to protect it. We're going to go, a grout coat is strongly suggested. And I'll step back there a little bit. A grout coat is strongly suggested. Some of our people back in Pittsburgh, they were offended by that. And I had to have that conversation with them. But you want to create a product that the aggregate's sitting on the surface. And what makes you think there's enough cement around some of those that they're not going to get knocked out? They're going to get knocked out. Just as this. Some of this glass is going to get knocked out. It's expected. I'm expecting it. But that's what a grout coat is for. The only one, let me pause right. The only one we don't recommend are ones that get mixed as a slurry. Because again, we're dry. So to step back a little bit, to do these polished overlays, strongly recommend, not even suggest, strongly recommend a mock-up. That way they can see it.
So when we apply patches to pick the pinholes, they need to be the whole floor.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta
So
do it all.
even if they change, something's gonna be the same.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta, once you start, you gotta keep going. You can't stop, because if you do, you might see stop and go areas. You wanna keep going.
And if you guys get one where they're like, hey, we want to mock up at a 525, we want to take a look, call it. I'll get you the 2 bags. You don't need to buy the bags for the mock up. I'll get you 2 bags for the mock up. I actually have stored some here already just so we have them available. But I will get them for you. I'm not ever going to charge you guys for the mock up if you're going to be backing up my product. No, then we can talk after that, and then I could even be out there to help you with it too. Once I know, you guys let me know. We can go out and take a look at everything, work on it together as well.
Yeah, but again, if the customer absolutely refuses one, create a document that says they refuse to have a mock-up, something that they sign. So whenever you do the job and they go, oh, this wasn't what I was expecting.
So I told you already.
That's pretty rare that happens though, but it does.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people are going to want to see, because I got those little squares over there. Now those little squares don't have. They'll show you the product. They don't have the sealers and the stuff that we're going to be putting on here, so that's not even going to be right.
Right.
It gives you a general starting point.
The
Starting point, but then you still want the mock-up because you tell them this doesn't have the sealers and the stuff that we're going to do.
Give or take, you gonna be in this
Yeah,
area.
it'll get you in the area.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's
So
not going to be the exact finish.
So I during our classes, I do a whole presentation, 45 minutes of managing customer expectations, right? Because that's the end use, right? That's who's paying the bill. That's who has to accept the floor,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
What's that?
You're talking about you add that to the course curriculum at the training
Yes.
facilities.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Just because that's the second hardest part, right? Because we need to make sure they understand what they're getting. These are on-site manufactured floors. A few things you need to take away from these floors: unique and character.
So what's the average cost per square foot or linear foot? How do you?
So most contractors, I find, just the installation part of it, whatever the bag of material is, they double that. That's what I find most contractors do. And then processing it, that's entirely, I don't know. You'd have to ask some of the tooling manufacturers. If it costs $10, they charge $20 to put it down. Right? But also you have to figure in the cost of the epoxy primer and all those things. But talk to your local sales rep, talk to Mike, he has some better numbers for you. I mean, because again, it's going to change regionally for me. Right? I have a contractor in Wyoming. He charges a lot of money. Why? Because he's the only one that does it. Because he's the only one that does it.
So you can get it.
You can get it, right? And so again, for these floors, get us involved, right? Because even just walking around going, okay, see this air vent, you need to turn this off. Why? Because the air coming out of that air vent will cause that floor to dry differently right there. Okay, where are you starting at? Okay, I'm going to start here. Okay, this door, we need to make sure there's something behind it so the air's not blowing underneath the doors. Just little things like that we know and aware of that we can help you figure out and be aware of. You don't want to do that. Have your crew. Okay, I walked this area. I think I got everything. Can you walk it to make sure I did get everything? Just another set of eyes that are going to look at it a little bit differently. Right? In our trainings, I say this all the time. The better you do the step you're on, the easier the next step will be. So just prepping. looking at the area. All right. I had a job in Park City, Utah, that first off, they left a lot of shiny spots. So there was a lot of cracking and disbonding. So they had to remove it and do it again. This time we were there, made sure that they didn't have any, which whenever they cleaned up the sand, they did. So I had them address those and fix those. They poured the floor, right? There are some things that I thought, no, I'm there just to make sure you're mixing it properly. I'm really not going to tell you how to install it. I'm going to suggest, and I strongly suggest you listen to my suggestions, but it's still a free country.
Right.
Right? So they were pouring the floor, and I looked in the one bedroom, and I went, hey, you got some drip marks out there. You might want to get those. Go to the other one, because they were bringing us all together, this big first floor. And I walked back, and we're in the doorway now, and I go, oh, you missed those marks up there. And the contractor went like this. I went, oh, no. That's already set. You're not stepping out on that now. That's part of the floor. Now you have to ask yourself, I said, unique in character, is that acceptable character? To them it was.
There it is.
Not bringing up a problem that's not a problem.
Right.
Right? They have to make it, okay, what are these marks here?
Fix that.
So then in the back corner, the GC goes, hey, how come there's a dark spot back in that corner? I go, because the air came through the outlet right there. He goes, well, why didn't they? I go, it's not the flooring guy's job to make sure this house is enclosed. Isn't that your job? Do you think that's going to be a problem now? Maybe you should address that. I wasn't that blunt with him, but that was the idea. It's not the flooring guy's job to make sure. Now, did we close up the vent? Yeah. Did we make sure the windows were taped up with paper so sun wasn't shining through? Yeah. Those are things that they can control. No, you have no control of the walls leaking or air's coming through the wall. All right. Any questions of our overlays?
Odd question. In 2025, a lot of questions about air quality are creating conversations in my world.
Okay.
So once this product is set up, does it have any kind of, you guys talk about that? Is it helpful? Is the stuff solid? Is it powdery, or is there any challenge with the product?
No. Once it's mixed and hard, it's done.
Do they study that at all?
Sorry?
Do they study that at all?
Not that I know of. No, because the only dust that's created is during the mixing process, and we suggest having a vacuum, HEPA vac, and taking care of the dust that way, because once it's there, it's cement. It's cement.
About acceptable substrates, I've seen a lot of new data saying go over wood,
No, there isn't.
LVT, and all that.
There is no topping that can go over wood.
I hear you, but the data sheet said they can.
So I'm friends with just about all the technical directors of all the other companies. And my colleague was saying that one of them said that they had a product that can go over wood. I went over to that technical director. I said, do you have a product that can go over wood? He goes, no. And I wish people would stop asking me. So what I did, and if you'd like to see it, I do have it. I had him hold a piece of paper. And I took a picture of him and sent it back to my colleague. It says, this is what the technical director of this product says. And he was holding a piece of paper, and on the piece of paper it said, no.
Now,
And so,
no, they do it. I know people do it, but nobody's going to recommend that they can.
it's going to crack. So first thing, it's going to crack. Every 4x8 sheet, it's going to crack. Now you want to polish it. Now you're going to put a heavy machine over top of that wood. Do you not think it's going to crack even more? We did have a topping for a short amount of time that can go over wood until we did it in a lawyer's office in San Francisco. And he sued us, and we removed the recommendation because it cracked. Salespeople are out there saying that. You show me, I'm going to ask you, I'll challenge you. You show me a manufacturer of a product topping that says they can go over wood. I'll give you my card.
I'll find it right now.
Please. Please. Because that's the challenge. Are people trying to figure it out? Sure we are. Are we putting lath in it? Sure. Are we seeing if we can? Sure. Is it out? Nope. Nope. right? There's just some things that just, it's good. There's too much movement. Will we bond to it? Absolutely. All day long. Will we recommend it?
Won't last.
I get architects, designers call me up and they always try to play that game. Well, what if I do this? No, it's still wood. What if I put backer board on it?
Wood.
It's cement. Yeah, it's still over wood. Now you're going to get 3x5 cracking instead of 4x8. It's the reality of it. There's places that it can't. But what these toppings do is give you a consistent looking floor. So keep in mind, you want to polish this concrete. What look are you going to get? As I said earlier, I don't know. You're going to be just as surprised as I am.
So actually, it's just really a cosmetic cover.
It's a consistent looking floor. So here's the other thing with concrete. Just because it's concrete doesn't mean it was poured with the intent to be polished. There's a lot of waves in it. You're going to get heavier aggregate and less aggregate. I had a job in New Orleans. 3 buildings that they made into one high school. They had some of our product on site. Not much of it. Contractor did everything he thought he was supposed to do. He did a mock-up in this corner. Designer, architect signed off. Yep, that's what we like. He polished the entire school. 3 buildings that they made into one school. Now he's all done. Now we have a big meeting. I'm there because I used a little bit of our product. And I'm there listening to him. There's 15, 20 people in there. Architects, designers, owners, reps, the contractor, everybody and anybody. And they keep going, we signed off on this corner. This doesn't look like that corner. And they keep going back and forth, back and forth. And I said, can I ask a question, please? They go, this isn't any of your product. I go, I understand, but I need to ask a question. You signed off on that corner. What makes you think that this entire, all these different concrete trucks that came in here are all going to look like that corner? They go, well, how can we make it more consistent? I go, pour my product over top of it. The GC said we couldn't afford that.
Oh, there you go.
The owner's rep said we weren't presented with that.
Oh.
Right? The only thing the concrete polishing guy did wrong was he didn't stop. Didn't stop and go, hey, we need to have a meeting. Well, why? Because this is looking different than where I started. I need to make sure you're okay with that. But that's normal for him.
Yeah.
It's not normal for the end user.
Right.
Right? That's who's paying the bill.
Right.
Right? I have, in our classes, I have a picture of my swimming pool step. Picture of my swimming pool step.
I can't help you with that.
Okay. Diamond on the step. Diamond on the step. Curved step. This step is this way. Right? This step is back this way again. My wife comes out and goes, why is that one square? And I bring this up at the class. I go, is there anything wrong with this picture? And some people go, well, that one's diamond to the step, but not diamond to the pool. I go, yeah. I go, my wife comes out and goes, why is that one square? And the contractor says, well, it's diamond to the step. Who's right?
Oh.
Nope.
That was your
Customer. The one who's paying the bill.
Oh, yeah.
The one who's paying the bill. How long would it take that contractor to go, ma'am, can you come here a second?
Right.
I can put this diamond to the step like the rest of these, or I could put the diamond to the pool. How would you like it?
Right. Check off on that. Okay. Okay.
Now I can't unhear it. Right? That's why I have to sit every time I'm in the pool now, so she can't see it. Right?
There's no swimming for you, though.
Well, we sit, I'm in Arizona, we sit in the pool, right? It's too hot. But then getting them involved, right? They made that decision. Does it matter to you? No, you're going to do the job anyway. But they made that decision. All the way to the different thresholds and ending, how you're ending this. These are some suggestions, but I need to do this here.
Right.
Here are your suggestions. Which one do you want?
Right.
Because whatever you check, whatever you pick is wrong.
Right.
They made that decision. Do you like it or not? Doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
They were doing a job in Arizona, pumping, 520, topping. Our sales rep calls me up and goes, Tim, this looks terrible, terrible. I go, Nathan, it doesn't matter to you or me what it looks like. He goes, what am I supposed to say if they ask me? You say it's gray and it's hard and bonded. That's our job. You don't know how it was sold. I get to the job because you want to go look. I go, no, I don't need to look. It doesn't matter to me.
They like it.
I didn't sell the job. They loved it.
It is.
They loved it.
How did you verbalize that? Customers always right for paying the bill. But how did you verbalize that?
Verbalize that they're so.
Who's right?
So it's our job to direct them in the direction we want them to go. Because they saw something on the World Wide Web and that's what they want you to duplicate.
Right.
Right? So you're going to tell them, you're going to show them different samples, different things. Right? So, okay, this is kind of what I think you're looking for. Yeah. Okay, well, it's going to look close to this, but it's not going to look like this. Because every job's going to be different.
Right.
Every one.
Like I said,
Unique
concrete.
in character.
Right.
Right? Unique in character. These are not computer-generated floors. These are on-site manufactured floors.
So that's why you can call it custom.
Unique in character.
It's custom.
I get asked, what's wrong with this? Nothing, that's character.
Right. It's custom.
The only thing you need to ask is acceptable character. Depends on your mock-up, how it was sold. So here we have the epoxy primer down, sand broadcast. We have the sand remove. Like the sand you remove, you can use again. All right, the sand you remove, you can use again. A lot of guys don't want to save the sand, store the sand, whatever, but we're mixing this up and putting this down so you can see the consistency. When doing typical underlayments, it's much more fluid. We mix this up so you can see it because a lot of contractors, they mix up this for the first time, and they go, you didn't put enough water in it. I'm going to pull it back this way just so you can see it. Usually I'll start here and go that way, but we'll start here. This is the 525.
525. Jerry, pour down over there. This is just how it looks when it's crushed. Just rock in it, all right? The aggregate's in the bag. No.
Right, so a typical underlayment, this would keep flowing. Right, but we see the consistency. So again, minimum 3/8 of an inch. Tools that are necessary required. Gauge rake. This has to touch every part of the floor. Typical underlayments, I get this material moving and it will continue to go. This, the cream will go, but not the rock. Right? So this has to touch every part of the floor.
Is that with that blue rock in there, or?
No, this has a black rock in it. This already has it in the bag itself. Yeah, this is already done. This one has a black and a small brown rock in it, a bigger black one. The 521 has just a brown rock in it, and the 523 has a smaller black and a smaller one. Now, you can add more rock to it. You can add color to it. One of the nicest looking floors we've done is the 525 pigmented black. It just makes the black rock pop. Well, that's one of the nicest looking floors we've done as a demo. Yeah, so they only come that way, right? We're not playing with different rocks back in our plants. This is the look. The samples are over on the board there. You can see the different colored rock in them. Now, this, we only had 2 bags, so we're hoping it's enough to cover this entire board, but I don't know if it will be. Say that again? You need to have a concrete surface profile for the epoxy, yes. Running out of room. I made it and I didn't make a mess. There you go. All right, so now, okay. So now, after I get it all placed, we're on the smoother over top of it. What you're looking for when doing this are voids, right? Just bringing this across and looking for voids. See that void right there? You can see? Watch as I'm pulling this. Watch the back of the blade. You're looking for voids. Okay, I got it taken care of that time. See that area right there? Right? It's a low spot.
Oh, you're talking about low.
Right? I'm not moving any material. So that's why I'm asking you. Look at the blade, and if you see those, come back across it again. Because if not, you're going to have to do more work to get that. Again, the better you do the step you're on, the easier the next step will be. So I take care of that. Whoops.
So is the magic count 2 flexible?
Yes. Yeah. You want to feel it? Feel how thick it is? Just the blade. Just the blade. Hold it up. There you go. Yes, the blade.
You on that rubber, so you're not all the way down.
Okay. A few things I'm seeing you. I'm over here twitching because, right? I'm going to ask you don't start or stop in the center. Okay. It's always going to be from an edge to an edge because if I set this down here, there could be a low spot there that now I got to try to take care of. Going from an end to an end.
So you are applying a little pressure.
You're applying a lot of pressure, yes.
I was kind of gliding on top.
Yes. See that void I had right there? No? See that right there? It's still there.
Oh, you see the, okay, that line, that color.
Now it's gone. But I had one right here.
So this is going to be the Carrizo for that thing?
What's that?
Is that the rock stuff?
Terrazzo?
Carrizo?
It doesn't have a bigger rock as Terrazzo.
You're not staying with that rubber stopper then on the side.
No. Okay. Next day you come back and start processing it. If you're not going to polish any of it, we're not even going to talk about the 521, 525. We're not even going to talk about that. You're just pouring and sealing. It's 520 and 530 because there's no rock in those. Those pour much easier, much more like an underlayment. But we want you to see this just because it's thicker. It's designed to have the rock to the surface. For most of our underlayments, our self-leveling underlayments, we're putting 5 quarts of water in it. For this one, we're putting 3.5 quarts. No, that's a lot. That's quite a bit less. And again, designed to have the rock stay on the surface. Okay? Any questions of the pour?
How long take you?
Next day. Yep. Next day. That's where we did those yesterday, and we're starting to process them today. Now again, we're just using that small machine. We're probably going to have to change those diamonds out and get more aggressive because of the weight of the machine. Right? But there's nothing different within the product. It's just a different machine that's being used. That's why we strongly suggest you're going to get into doing more and more of these. Let us come to your shop with your machine and your tooling, and let's get it dialed in. Because every day after that, it's going to be the same. Concrete, you have to figure out how hard or soft the concrete is to see where you need to start. And even at that point, we're going to ask that you do just 3 or 4. Okay. We're going to do 3 or 4 feet and then evaluate it. We're not going to do the entire room and then go, well, that didn't work.
So you all don't use the concrete scratch to see the softness, the hardness of the
Well,
concrete?
for concrete, you have to do that. For these, you do not. These are going to be the consistent every single time.
Okay.
Every single time.
Talking about with the dialing in once you put a
Yep.
on there.
Yep. Right. Do you have a question?
No, we was talking about sometimes I see floors, they are like a spider webs on the top. I'm wondering is because if the people, they put more water to make it stand more.
It could be that, or it could simply be air blown over the top of the surface.
Try to dry faster.
It's differential drying, that the top is drying faster than the bottom.
Okay, so as long as we contain the air, we're not gonna have that kind of heat.
Yeah, and that's why I asked that not only you and your crew take a look around and evaluate everything, have us come out and take a look to be able to go, oh, you need to shut that door. You need to,
Not
do
try
this.
to put a fan to dry faster.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no, that's the worst thing you can do. Worst thing you do. Let it do its thing.
Anything that's Ardex is designed to dry
Sorry?
temperature, room temperature.
Room temperature. Just let it do its thing.
Ardex, no le pone nadie.
Okay? Now we're going to get down. They're going to continue processing the material, running the machines. You guys are more than welcome to get behind the machine, try the machine, see how it's going to turn out for you. Right? So do a little bit, do a small section and evaluate it. See if we're getting to where we want it to be. Right? So here we got aggregate exposure already. And that's what we're looking for. Again, we're not going to do the entire floor, and this is all we're getting. That's not aggressive enough. Oh, he's not done here, but I'm just pointing that out, right? That's why we stopped here, right? We want it all to be nice, consistent look. Well, we're also going to ask you to start as least aggressive as possible. Now here, again, we have a smaller machine, so we need to use more aggressive tooling because we don't have the weight. Now the bigger machines, yeah, we might be able to start with 50 ceramics. All right, with the heavier machines. But just do a small section, evaluate it. But you see how easy it opens up. Right? You see how easy it is. And again, it doesn't matter if we come back next week. It's still going to process this exact same way. Exact same way. All right? So we're going to let them continue. And step up. 521 and 530 have more polymer in them than the 521, 525. They have more polymer. So this has more of a hard candy shell on the surface that we have to get through. So now we just have to get more aggressive to get through that shell and get the aggregate exposure. That was not working.
So what are you using right now?
Now we got 30s on.
Okay.
So now I'm not sure how long they're going to keep working on these and processing these. But typically we follow whatever the sealer manufacturer says to stop. Most cases, people are stopping after 200s. Last week we took it up to 1600. Why? Because they wanted to. But the customer needs to understand each process is more money. So in your mock-up, however you finish your mock-up, right? You stop at 200s. That's 200. What do you think? Oh, we might like it a little bit shinier. So you do half of the mock-up, right? So then they can evaluate it. Oh, this is this and this is that. And they're next to each other and you can really see the difference. This one is this much and this one is only this much. Is that a little bit of shinier worth that money to you? Right? It's so all right, now that's still like a little bit more shiny. So you do half of that other one and keep stepping up till they're happy. But let me step back. When someone says they want polished concrete, first question I ask is, do you want to see exposed aggregate or do you want to see just shiny? Because if you just want shiny, we'll put a shiny sealer on it. right? And that's going to be a lot less than me processing it. Oh, I want to see exposed aggregate. Okay, now we're into this process. Now, where would you like me to stop? Typically, we stop around 200s, and it's this price, whatever it may be. Oh, I might want it a little shinier. Okay, I can take it up as high as you want. And each step, and you have that in your notes in your pocket, that each step costs this much more, this much per square foot, whatever it may be. Okay, I'll take it up to 3,000s if you want. Right? Entirely up to the end user.
You got the 3,000 a month.
Yeah, you got the 3,000s a month. All right? Okay, go ahead. Someone get the vacuum, please. Okay? Know your capabilities, right? We're looking at this, we're doing this, we're getting there. It's just taking quite a bit of time. So now you realize from your mock-up, I need a bigger machine. Right? Because it took you this much time to get to this point. Right? You need a bigger machine.
Oh, way down it.
That's not hot.
No, it's not.
Right? So again, know your capabilities. Right? Know it from your mock-up. Maybe you're not even getting into this. Maybe you're just going to stay with this because all the aggregate's in there. You just pour it, place it, and polish it. You know, you want to get into more of this. You make it worth your time and your money. This is, I'm not going to say more advanced, but this is more difficult.
Yeah.
Right? But know what you can do. This, you saw how easy it opened. And we're ready for the next step. So getting back to knowing your capabilities, job in Denver that they claimed that our product was cracking and desponding. I go to look at it and evaluate it, and I said, well, we have to open up the floor. So they open up the floor and they remove the copper, and our product is rolling with the copper, still stuck. I go, that's not our product issue. And I grab the adhesive that's on back of the copper, and I grab it and I go, what's this? He goes, oh, it's what's recommended. I go, what is it? Because I already know. He goes, what is it? He goes, that's what's recommended. I said, well, can you show me what it is? He goes, well, I have the tech data sheet down in the trailer. Okay. So we go down there. He sets it right in front of me. Sets this tech data sheet in front of me. I pick it up and go, it says for wood floors. He goes, well, that's what's recommended. I go, it says right here, wood flooring. He goes, what does it say in here that it can bond copper? He goes, oh, well, we had the drywall guy install the copper on the floor. And I said, you thought that was a good idea? He goes, well, he did the copper behind the drywall, so we figured he would just continue the copper onto the floor.
Bad idea.
Bad idea. Because I know as I pulled that adhesive off, it was supposed to be an epoxy. Right? Not just an acrylic adhesive on it. But he didn't know his capabilities. That drywall guy had to replace that entire floor. Right? So know your capabilities. Right? Starting off small. Getting into this. You understand the polishing process. Okay, then step up bigger jobs, doing things like that. But again, let us help you along the way. Okay? They're going to continue with the process. If you want to continue with this, go ahead, and then we'll step up for the next one. So again, we're getting there. It's just going to take a little more time and effort. You can keep working on this if you want, or later, some other time, but we can just step over here and start processing these and watch them pop. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to put 50s on there. We're going to continue. You're going to start seeing it's going to start popping. It's really not going to completely pop until you get a nice protecting layer over top of it. Right? No, that's it. That's it. You can add color to it. So I would strongly suggest even doing that. Okay, you want it to be a little fancier than this, I can put some black aggregate or some black pigment into it, or some blue pigment into it, or some white pigment to make it a little bit lighter. I can do all those types of things to it if you wanted to pay for that. Right? So again, preferencing that everything you do to this floor, it's going to cost you money, the customer. Like here, oh, I like to see all this aggregate. We put close to 30 pounds of aggregate into this. That costs money. That costs money. All right, I can tone it back a little bit, put in 20 pounds. Okay? Okay, that's going to be less expensive, yeah? All right? So again, just know what the process is. And it all starts with your mock-up. And so even for these, you're not quite sure you want to get into this, strongly suggest renting the equipment. Rent it. There's many rental companies out there that they rent this equipment. You have to buy the tooling, yes, but you rent the equipment, right? Get a few jobs on your... You rent too?
With diamonds too. So
there you go.
for a little bit more price.
Yeah, rent also.
It's the same machine used for epoxy and everything anyway, so yeah.
Floor prep is floor prep, and just have the right tooling. So depending on the machine you have, starting here, you call up Husqvarna, say, this is what I'm trying to do. Over top of this, they'll say, okay, start here. They'll know. They'll know. Okay. So as they're continuing to process this floor, lunch is here. I'm not 100% sure where, right? So help yourself to some, whatever we have for lunch, and they're going to keep processing. Just come out and just keep seeing where they're at and what they're doing.